Love and peace and happiness. Connecting the body and the body. Connecting the body, heart, and mind. Connecting the body and the spirit. Connecting the heart, mind, and body. Connecting heart, mind, and heart. Connecting heart, mind, and spirit. Connecting spirit and body. Connecting spirit, heart, and mind. Connecting spirit and spirit. One for the body, one for the heart, one for the mind, one for the spirit. Divine truth. Let me see, speak, and hear it with accuracy, clarity, and simplicity for my beloved brothers and sisters of humanity, for their highest, lightest, and brightest good, for the overall love, peace, health, wealth, and happiness, praise in all our days. Yes. So thankful and grateful. Sky, daddy, sky, mommy. All right, let's see what's coming through these cards, these messages for you whenever you find it, timelessly. The Four of Pentacles. You've been in the house. You've been taking care of your heart. You've been setting new foundations for yourself. You've been finding stability for you. The stability that you've been creating is for you, okay? You could have been really protecting your heart and keeping your heart close to a lot of options because you said, those will mess with my stability. I don't need to do all that. Like, that's doing too much. It's good to recognize what you actually could do and what you would like to do, but you know what? I'm not able to. I'm seeing somebody who would like to contribute more, give more, be more generous, but right now your focus, your priority is on stabilizing for yourself, and that is okay. That is completely okay. It's actually quite wise as well, because if you don't take care of you, there's nothing you're able to overflow. So you got to take care of you. So let's see this energy. You know, I just see like in the past, you left yourself out in the cold. In the past, you had a way of giving too much to where there wasn't enough for yourself, which is why you're now on this correcting path. I got to stabilize for myself. I got to stop accepting everybody else's requests and start taking care of home, start taking care of me. Because I mean, I'm picking up on somebody who at some point you ended up either homeless or just like the lights might have been out, or it was just so skimp around the cupboards were running bare, something like that, right? And like this was sad because I hear you thought that because you did so much for others that others would be there, but they were not around. And even if you reached out, they were not to be found. It's like I see people not answering your call. I see people I'm hearing making up excuses on why they weren't available. It's like, and I have done so much. You said, I have done so much. I gave till it hurt. So you had to have some self-realization moments, and that caused a lot of feelings about giving till it hurts. And that caused a lot of emotional experiences to be relived, rehashed, and through that you figured it out. I heard figured out. Yeah, you had to figure out some things where you gave. I'm hearing one of the reasons that you may or may not have discovered, and maybe you're discovering now, you gave because you did for others what you wish that others would do for you. And so now it's like this Four of Pentacles energy foundation is saying now you are doing it for you instead of doing someone else. You're now doing it for you. And let's see, with that King of Wands, yeah, you're very passionate about this. I see you like consistent with this King of Wands. This is you doing for you, following the beat of your own heart, following your own passions, following through for yourself. You can't trust everybody, but you could trust yourself. And so I'm hearing in this, there was a moment, and you could be having that moment now or about to go into the moment as you're finding this reading where everything I have, I owe to me. Nobody really gave me anything. And I've been so loyal. I've been so steadfast. I've been so true for all these people who had none of that energy to return to me. As a matter of fact, I gave away so much. And now I'm going to be true to myself. I'll be loyal to myself. No more self betrayal. No more self abandonment. None of that. To take care of me because it's always been me that had my back, my front, back, side, down, and all around. I've always taken care of me, whether it's washing my ass, paying my bills, or putting gas. I got me. I've always had me. Nobody else really has. And so it's like redirecting all the energy that you are giving to others. I'm hearing to try to earn respect, have them see you as a good person or a person of value or something like that. It's like, you're not it. You could think what I heard. You could think whatever you want to about me. I don't care. That's not my problem here nor there. What is my truth is that I am taking care of me. What is my truth is I've got me, and I don't need to depend on others. If I would just, you had this real having or had this realization moment where it's like, if I would just take care of me with all of that time, energy, and effort, then I would be stable. I'll be okay. So I'm just going to start doing that now. Yeah, I'm just going to start doing that now. And something that serves you well was when you really started to investigate this. You're like, you know what? I could do that for them, but this is what I've learned. I could do that for them, but this is what I've learned. And then it's like, because you realize that you could do certain things for people, but you had learned this hard way. It's like, you're like, I'm gonna figure out a new way to do this. I'm gonna figure out how to take care of me. I'm gonna figure out how to invest in myself. I'm gonna figure out, what do I want? What do I need? And how can I be the fulfillment of that want and need? Okay. All right. So what's difficult about this right now is that you got the three specific people, or you got all these people that are used to you just going along with the flow, just following their lead, doing all that stuff. And then, so they count on it. They look forward to, they depending on you. And so these people are used to coming to you for stuff, and you've always worked together with them. Well, here's the thing. It's okay to work together, but with other people, and to contribute and stuff like that. But there's this new group that to your life of people who actually will contribute back to you, feed into you like you feed into them. I hear, but one of the challenges is going to be to break their dependency on you, to break this idea that they can always count on you to take care of what they need, even though they haven't even reciprocated any of that energy. I mean, and you don't do it because, but you see that if you do too much for people that keep asking, then that comes back to you in a negative energy, because you literally, if these people don't return energy, if they're not reciprocal, if that they're not down for you like you're down for them, you're literally giving the signal to the universe that, hey, that's okay. I can exhaust myself for everyone else, and nobody else has to be supportive or anything of me. And you have been accepting of that, but now you're not. You're looking to expand into an energy where there's communication, more cooperation, more interaction, instead of you just taking all the action. I hear. Yeah. So in your environment, somebody here, could be, for some it is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but this is somebody who has a lot of emotional mastery. There's somebody who's very interested. Okay. And I do see that it's not just one in particular, it just begins with one. I see that there's a whole crew of people that are similar to you. And as you change your alignment into a more balanced energy, even if that balance is in yourself, which that's where it always starts, it will eventually expand and grow into where more balanced relationships and expenses show up in your physical reality. And so I see that the reciprocal relationships are showing up, because if ain't nobody else gonna reciprocate to you, you're gonna reciprocate to you. You're gonna feed into yourself until you attract others that feed into you too. And then that is going to uh, alert you that, hey, it's safe to feed into this energy. It's safe to support this person, because I see that they're supportive of me too. I see that there's interaction. I see that there's reciprocation. I see that I'm not alone in this relationship trying to carry both sides of it. That's the energy there. Okay. So in the guidance, it's like, you're going to have these triggers come up where it's going to be like trying to get you to repeat the same process. And this devil card is actually speaking to me about the synaptic patterns. Synaptic patterns can be very strongly correlated to karmic patterns, generational curses, and such, because it's the brain's programming, like, this is the way we always do things. And so the natural inclination for the body is to follow that programming of, this is the way we always do things. And so what's going to happen for you now, that you're going to have to deal with and manage and cope with and handle and overcome, is that the inclination to do what you've always done is going to be there, but you're going to face it with power. this time. That's how you overcome it. You face it with power. They're saying you're going to have to power wash the old synaptic patterns with the new pattern. And it does take strength, personal strength, mental strength, spiritual strength, emotional strength to build a new synaptic pattern. And so to establish a new routine, a new way of being, it's going to take you through this place where you're going to want to do the old thing. And you could say to yourself, it's so hard to do the new thing. You could even find yourself in some fear, like if I don't do what they want me to, this is what they're going to do. And I don't want that to happen. It could take you through fear sometimes. But I do see, like, for some of you, there's going to be a Capricorn person come up. But for others of you, this is just going to be the temptation to fall back into the old pattern, to change yourself to another energy or another experience that doesn't feel well to you. It feels unhealthy. This is like somebody who gets a hey, can you help me with this, that, or the other? And then you're like, fuck, yes. In yourself, you're like, fuck, I don't want to do that. I can't do this. I don't even have it to do it. I don't have time for this. I don't have energy for this. I don't have money for this. And so you're going to deal with that head on, which is great. It's great. I actually like that this card came out in this position for you, because this says you're dealing with your own shadow. You're addressing things instead of trying to sweep it under the rug like it don't exist. It's still there. It's still there. It's still going to bring what it brings. It's still going to do what it does. And you know what I always say whenever I see the devil card is, you can run from the devil all you want to, but by running, you mean you make it chase you. So until you turn and confront it, it won't change. And so that's what I see happening here is you turning and confronting, what is it in me that makes me think I satisfy everybody's desire? What is it in me that makes me think I say yes to everything? I don't have to say yes to everything. If life is a buffet, I can pick out what I choose, what I would enjoy. I don't have to pick out these experiences, these people, or this food that I don't like. Why am I forcing myself to eat this when I don't like it? Why am I forcing myself to do these things that I don't want to do? Where did I learn this behavior, and how can I mute it? These are some important things you might want to rewind, write it down, listen like 10 more times just to that part. Use those questions to empower yourself. Those are very empowering questions, right? But this is what has kept a certain pattern going. But I see, like I said, because of the Four of Pentacles there, I see you pulling your energy back into yourself. And so in this experience, I see where somebody's going to try to get you to give your energy out, when in reality, it would cause the start of this whole process all over again, because you'd be linking yourself to this experience where it's like, this shit don't feel good. This ain't what I want. It doesn't reciprocate. It doesn't do what I do. It doesn't match my energy. It's not a match for your energy. There's this experience is going to happen for you, and it does happen for you to highlight and show you where the change once made can change everything in your experience. So with the Nine of Wands, this is like the different strokes. I'm hearing different strokes. This is finally having had enough. That before you take that action, you're going to rest and you're going to reconsider your course of action. And as you reconsider your course of action, you remember all the scars you bear, all the wounds you've taken, all the hits you've taken in order to learn this, in order to shift this, in order to change this experience, and you make a different decision. You're going to stand in your power. This is a lower arcana strength card. And so you're going to stand in your strength. That's what it takes to overcome the devil. Strength card trumps the devil every time. And so this is like practicing it. It's like, I don't see this happening once. For somebody, you could have 9 experiences come in within the next, I don't know how much time, but it could be 9 experiences that is going to tempt you to fall back into your old pattern. And from my personal experience, which you could take it or leave it, oh, it came back so many times, and I had to keep saying no, 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 over and over again, until finally it shifted and it stopped coming. And what it is that old synaptic patterning, that old subconscious programming is still attracting from what you've been doing all before. So in order to solidify this new character, in order to solidify your stability, in order to solidify this new way of being where you're taking care of yourself, knowing that only in self-health can you actually contribute to anything worthwhile, it's going to challenge you to keep making that choice over and over again. This is the spiritual gym where you gain your muscle for every time you lift that weight, right? This is the repetitive motion that increases your strength so that one day it will actually get easier. It won't be so difficult. It'll be your natural way of being. But in the beginning, baby, you're going to be saying, oh my God, this is so hard. It's so hard to say no. When I first started learning to say no, another thing that could help, maybe take it or leave it, from my personal experience was my nephew was about 15 years old and he came out of his room and I just said no. I looked him dead in the eyes and I said no. I was learning to say no without explanation and unapologetically. And he said, no, what? And I said, no. He said, I don't know why you're saying no. I said, no. He said, woman, what's wrong with you? You saying no and I don't know what you're talking about. I said, no. He's like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm going back to my room. No. And I just yelled after him. And then he said, I forgot what he said. But anyway, I finally yelled after him. I was just practicing saying no. I know that it's important for me to learn how to say no. I've never really just said no and not explain myself. So thank you for letting me practice. And I triggered the heck out of him. As you do this, expect people to be triggered. They're used to you being a yes man, a yes woman. They're used to you saying everything. When you say no, that's going to be a whole deal. For some of you, this is saying no to alcoholism because you decided you want to live a sober life. Some of you, this is saying no to sex because you decided, oh, I'm done with them and their sexually transmitted demons. Okay. For some of you, this is saying no, I'm not going to give you the money. For some of this is saying no, I'm not going to give you the ride. For some of you, this is saying no, I am not going to give you my time. Whatever it is, you're saying no. And there's this energy of learning to say it unapologetically and without explanation. No is a complete sentence in and of itself. Let's see the energy from the other side of the table. Queen of Swords had plans. They had agendas, and they could see, like, they didn't care. They just said what it was. They said what they needed. They decided, they declared, and they made you like they saw you as a target. They had your number. They read your book. Like, they could see an energy of manipulatability. Like, you were easy to manipulate. Yeah, you were easy to manipulate in the past. They could see that in you. Okay, and now Eight of Pentacles. They're trying to repeat the process. But look at the face on this little prince here. He's looking kind of sad, right? Yeah, because they're trying to repeat the process. And all of a sudden, it's like, it's not working. It's not working. Doing the same thing that used to work with you ain't working the way it used to. And somebody's noticing that. And it's not working the way it used to because now you are marching to your own drum. You're doing what you feel for yourself. So these people, they could ask you numerous times, right? Or it could be, like I said, a group of people, a bunch of people. Maybe they don't even know each other, but they all ask. Some people, I just saw, like, you got a whole family that's all like, this ain't even your family, but you have a whole family. They want you to watch their kids. They want you to take them shopping. They want to borrow your car. They need to know if they can hold $20 till next week. Next week never come, type of shit. I heard who allowed that? Who allowed that? You allowed that, right? You allowed it so many times that this got to be real strong in your frequency, in your vibration, in your energy field, in your aura. And now that you've decided to say no, everything in your vicinity is reacting to that no. They're not used to getting a no from you, so they might continue to ask. You're going to have to say no several times. And I heard practice saying no without explanation. You don't have to explain yourself. Yeah. Yeah, this person, they think, like, what's worked for them so far is that you say yes. They use your friendship, but we've been friends forever. Yeah, I know you. I could count on you. They butter you up. I hear they butter you up before they go in for the kill. Well, we've been friends since childhood. Really can't ask nobody else. You're the only one I can. Well, you're my sister, my brother, my cousin, my auntie, my uncle, whatever. You my niece. I don't know who you are, but you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like they use the connection that you have, and they try to butter you up and get you feeling good and this and that. And then they're going for the strike, right? They're going for the strike. They cooking up something, right? Or somebody, they like to, invite you over for a meal, but if you stop and think about it, you could have went to a restaurant that served you better food at a lesser price. And because it's like, before you leave their house, every time they invite you over for a meal, why you leaving more hundreds at their house? Because they need to pay this, they need to pay that, and can you help with this, and can you help with that? Well, you've always said yes. This time I heard, when you get that invitation to come on over, and you're gonna say, I already have plans. No. Let me see. Yeah, this, whoever these ones are that's around you, is, as you find self-love, as you find your passion to build your own stability for yourself, to take care of number one, to allow self-care and self-stability to be a real priority. As you prioritize self, they're inaccessible. They cannot access you. You're inaccessible to them. Thank you. More clearly said, you are become inaccessible to them. As you prioritize self-love, as you prioritize self-care, as you're prioritizing your own stability, they're finding it difficult to penetrate your aura like they used to. Yeah. um and like I said, this could be individuals that you truly do have a long-standing history with, and you truly do care for them. I mean, clearly you care for them. If you didn't care for them, you wouldn't have gave them all the yeses you did in the past, right? Yeah, they look at you as the opportunity. They look at you as very welcoming. They also think that you don't know what they're up to, is what I'm getting with this. They're saying, yeah, they think that you can't see how they view you. But you're starting to realize, like, even though you love, they're coming to you because you got the money in your hand, because you got the pinnacle right there, because you have the time available, because you make yourself available for service. You dress real, I'm hearing you dress real snazzy, or you have a very well kept appearance, and so they just want to try to leech off of that. They just want to get some of that. Yeah, they see you as a opportunity, an opportunity that they can take from, right? They can ask you for things. Well, this person is about to meet your cold shoulder. They're going to meet the King of Swords part of you, the one that is unemotional. You're now looking at this situation logically, and when you give them that no, when you give them the no explanations, when you give them the unapologetically taking care of self and no, they're going to have some things to say. What do you know? I mean, some of them is going to go on social media and try to slander your name and talk some shit. Some of them just on your back. Some of them going to say it to your face. Very few will say it to your face. Some are just going to react and say it over the phone or by a text message or whatever. Anywhere where they try to cut you off, thank God. I heard thank the universe. I heard thank yourself. Like, that's fantastic. I'm glad you cut me off. Now I ain't got to cut you off. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I never got to tell you no again, because that's all you were going to get from me was a no. That's the energy. Yeah, and then you will leave these energies in the dust. All these people that just want to leech off of you, hang on to you. You'd have gone through enough with this Nine of Wands up here. You'd have gone through the cycle enough. You've had enough of this experience. You're like, oh no, I'm not doing that to myself no more. I finally see where it was. And in the past, you couldn't see, and these people were banking on it. They were banking on your lack of awareness, banking on you couldn't see that they didn't really care. Yeah. And they're getting justice. They're getting justice. The scales are being balanced now. Anywhere where these people were leeching off of you and trying to take from you without your awareness, like, there are going to be consequences and repercussions if they never pay you back, if they never reciprocate to you. Trust and believe the scales of karma will be balanced. And one of the first things is going to be they're going to be missing you. They're going to be missing your presence. They're going to, at some point, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect you. But at some point, these ones will realize, like, I just fucked up royally. Like, I should have never had did that to the tribe. The tribe was down. They were ride or die, and I totally fucked that up. I took advantage. I asked for they gave me an inch. I asked for a mile. Like, they were like, I really took that too far. I should have just really been good to that person. I should have, they're gonna realize. But it's not about them realizing, like, they've been the leeches they've been, so you could find your way out of this pattern. Because I do sense that this pattern is not just you. This is a repetitive pattern, and you're the cycle breaker. You're the one that comes in to prioritize self-love, self-respect, loyalty to self, honoring of self, favoring of self. Yeah. And that's something different in your experience, because if you look back, parents and other elders in the family and stuff, I heard they did it till they died. Like, they did too much for everybody else until they died. It was so hard for so many to prioritize self in the examples that you were given in life. And naturally you would repeat those processes until you learned otherwise, and now you've learned otherwise. And so we're not angry about these people. We're actually grateful for them. Thank you. I heard thank you for being the weight in the spiritual gym so I could lift it and find my power, build my muscle, build my strength, my durability. Yeah, that's the energy. So let's see what other messages the universe, love source, God, creator of all that ever is, was, will be, or could be, has for you about this situation here. The Star. Yeah, this situation always persisted and existed in your experience so that you could realize, like, first off, you have inexhaustible, infinite resources at your access. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have got to this point to start finding your stability. The bottom of the deck, better days are coming, but this was part of the process to build the better days coming. Okay, this experience has been part of the process to create the self-awareness that you needed in order to heal yourself, in order to match to meet your fate and step into your destiny, because stepping into destiny requires courage and faith. This was you, even in when you were falling for the gimmicks and the manipulations. Like, you were always being blessed, because you, like I said, you needed to have the weight to build the muscle, right? It was constantly serving your best interest. Yeah. For some, there's a strong Aquarius energy in the past, but this was about you finding your truth, your light, your empowerment, realizing, like, I am a person of value. It's okay for me to receive, giving yourself permission to receive, giving yourself permission to take care of your star player. Yeah, because you are the star player, baby. And so, this situation repeated itself when you were feeling distraught, downtrodden, left out in the cold, and nobody was there. That was significant, because God said, universe said, the highest self said, this was the time that you found your light. This was the time that you found how blessed, favored, and protected you are. Yeah, you found that you were honored. Yeah, and this is a time where you found self-respect, loyalty to self. Okay, and in that, I heard the divine is honored, because remember, you are the first gift of the divine in your life. Yeah. So in this current energy, spirits, like, this situation where you're at right now, marching to the beat of your own drum, and these people still trying. This is where the change happens. This is where you change your physical reality. You're going to have to do it over and over again. You're going to say no over and over again. You're going to start saying yes to you more, and your stability, and what prioritizes your self-love, and less saying yes to that which weighs you down, right? There's also this self-realization again, where I can't play both roles in this relationship, whatever kind of relationship this is. It works and it flows because both are feeding energy to one another. Both are supporting one another. Somebody don't want you to hear that, but it doesn't matter. It was said anyways. It still got out, right? And so some of you, there's something you need to say. Maybe you need to say it out loud. Like, it's okay for me to find balance for myself. I don't have to counterbalance everybody else. I can take care of me, and that's okay. And this is a change that you got to be to see, right? This is a change you got to be to see. So you're creating great change. This is going to affect your physical reality, because you're investing your passion and your energy into what your heart is driving you towards, what stability you require into home, whether that's your literal physical taking care of home, bills, finances, and stuff like that, or your heart, or your entire physical vessel, or D, all the above. I heard it's D, all the above. Okay. Yeah. Divine said in this, oh, there it is. The blessing is the strength card. And what did I say when the devil card come out? The strength is what's required to trump the devil. To overcome the devil, you have to be in your strength. And what I tell you about this nine of wands, it's in your outcome. That is a lower arcana strength card. And therefore, this is saying to you, like, the hidden blessing in all this is where you come into that power. This is where you come into that strength. You do overcome this challenge. You have this whole experience is not, it's not a fucked up situation. It's not the worst thing that ever happened to you. It was a hidden opportunity. It was an opportunity for you to develop something in your character, in your technique, in your lifestyle that is necessary for where you're going. I'm here where you're going, what the divine has in store for you. Your ships, when they come in, you can't throw them to the leeches. You can't throw them to the waste. You can't throw your pearls to swine. You can't throw your uh, beautiful attracted into your life behind the garbage, right? And so you be trained to manage the prosperity, abundance, wealth, all the gifts that your soul has for you in this physical reality before they arrive, so that you don't squander them when they do, so they don't become rubbish when they arrive. So give it away to the rubbish of the earth. What is the rubbish of the earth? People who are just leech, they have no self-awareness. They're like NPCs. It's like the NPC don't need no money, time, or energy. Why are you feeding the NPC? That thing don't even have soul. Okay, non-player characters. Like, these are people that ain't really people. These are hollow vessels meant to keep you on the hamster's wheel. And so you had to get control of that for your ships to actually arrive. The divine said, yeah. The challenge is realizing, like, I gotta let this go. For you, divine is here honoring and acknowledging that, and you know, not that you. I heard you shouldn't need validation, but somewhere you do, because spirit is saying we validate the fact that, you know, it's gonna feel like a loss for you, but spirit is here also with this card saying there's no loss in the divine mind. You got to understand, when you stop looking at what's lost, you're gonna find what loves you, how we love you, and how it's going to be replaced with something better. Yeah. And it starts with that prioritization of your self-love energy, working with what's come your way for the purpose with which it was delivered. A lot of these jokers, I heard a lot of these jokers got brought into your life so that you could say no to them. Like, the yes jar doesn't just apply to romantic relationships. Somebody said, what's the yes jar? The yes jar is when the yes jar gets, you get your real yes, but you can only fill the yes jar with the nose, and all the nose are in different sizes and shapes, and so you don't know how many no's it's going to take to fill the yes jar. You just keep saying no until it's a yes, and that's it. Okay, in other words, you walk through the buffet of life and you're like, oh no, I don't eat that, I don't like that, I never like that. Oh, I like that, that's the one you choose, type of thing. All right. Spirit said this is about a growth opportunity. The same thing that these people thought they was going to take advantage of you is the same thing you'll be rewarded with in multiply if you apply the awareness that you have into your physical life, into your real life relationships, right? This is about receiving the lesson. Now, the cool part about the way the universe works is you both learn the lesson, or at least have the lesson available. Because, you know, it's like school. Some kids, they study, they read the book, they do their homework, they turn it in. Other kids, they don't open the fucking book, they stepped on the book, they definitely didn't do no homework, and they don't turn shit in. And so one passes the class and the other one don't. Which one are you? Okay. Spirit said, learn the truth. Learn the truth here. Apply the truth. I've already shown you the truth. Remember your truth. These people do not determine your worth. These people do not decide that you are a good person, you're worthy or deserving of nothing. A lot of them are just here to challenge you. To challenge you, yeah? This is about you gaining clarity because of the experience, where the experience is showing you what you don't want. Keep on filling up that yes jar. And they're saying, they're looking at that. Okay, so if this ace of swords represents the yes jar and the crown is how full it is of no's, it's like, I don't know how many no's it's going to take to push that crown up the rest of the way to the tip of the sword until it lifts off that sword. But that crown lifting off the sword, because they're showing me it elevates, right? That crown lifting off of the sword is when the yes jar is full, and it's looking like you're right up at the top rim of the yes jar with the nose, like you filled it up so many times with nose. Keep going, okay? Don't quit now. Don't fall for the okey doke at this time, right? Because spirit said you being spiritually led to this, and we have so many beautiful things awaiting for you. Yes, spiritually led. And also, as you walk away, again, this is showing me the replacement energy that's coming in. There is no loss in the divine mind. It's only replaced with something of greater or equal value, usually greater value. So any relationship, any friendship, any business ship, any type of ship that is removed in the prioritizing of self-love is replaced with something. So they said, let's get a final closing message for you from the Spirit Messages guidance cards, which have been calling to me for a while, but I hadn't used them. And today I got it real strong while I'm still alive. So let's get it in. What is the most important closing message for the tribe who is still watching this? You're still watching this? What did you learn? How are you prioritizing your self-love at this time? How many people have you shaken off of your shoulders already? Okay. How many times did you practice saying no? Who are you practicing saying no with? Put some stuff in my comments. Light me up. Let me know. Okay. It says choices. Love. This is perfect because it's all a choice, right? And making different choices, oh, science has proven, will actually change your DNA. Not only will it restructure your synaptic patterns, the way the brain operates, but it will literally change your genetics. And when I was a kid in school, they said you're born with your genes, and they always say this, and that's a lie. And there's scientific back evidence to prove that these days. All it takes is different choices, and it will change your genetic makeup. Which is why I said keep doing it over and over and over and over again until it becomes your new way of being, right? Even if it's really hard in the beginning, just keep doing it over and over and over again, because as you keep prioritizing self-love, you're going to find more stuff that aligns with self-love for you to say yes to, right? Okay, the card says, when you accept responsibility for your life and the choices you make, you begin to tap into the power of your own spirit. You will be able to listen to and appreciate the intuitive wisdom that's inside you and apply it positively and constructively to your outside world. This is a beautiful summation of everything we just talked about. Yeah, it's like you got to take care of number one, or you won't be able to take care of any of the numbers that follow. And you are number one. That's why you the first life. You were the since that first breath until that last breath. You're gonna be the first one. You got to make, even on the airplane. One of my clients is on a flight right now. Even on the airplane though, they say put the oxygen mask on yourself before you try to put it on somebody else. This is you putting the oxygen mask on yourself. Because you're no good to nobody if you ain't taken care of. And other people who ain't up to no good won't care if you're doing any good. They won't contribute to it. They'll just take until you ain't got nothing left to give, and then they discard you like the paper wrapper from the candy bar that ate all up. Because some of you are that. You the candy bar in somebody's life, baby. What kind of candy bar are you? What's your favorite candy bar? Put it in the comments. This is what I have for you at this time. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. And until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. Kamsahamnida. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.